I want to say thank you for joining us on this Thursday night for another time of Life Alive Bible study. The Word comes alive and it breathes new life. Listen, this is the way I see you joining us, whether it is live and many of you in the replay, that you are investing your time in this 45 minutes to an hour. And when you invest in something, you expect a return. And my deepest prayer is that you are getting the kind of spiritual return that you expect. I'm D. Foster III. I am CEO and president, if this is your first time, of Wake Up Global Networks International. And I want to say thank you. This is where we are each and every Thursday night, 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock somewhere. That's all I know. And it's Thursday somewhere. I hope you had a great Mother's Day. You know the spiel at the beginning: like, share, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell so that you know when we drop brand new content. We've got brand new content coming up that I'll talk about in just a few minutes. But while you are inviting others in, I hope you had a tremendous, tremendous Mother's Day. I mean, look, we're almost halfway through May into June. There's prom, there's graduation, there's vacations. There are a lot going on, but one thing is constant. That is that we're going to meet you right here every Thursday night at 7 o'clock for Life Alive Bible Study, where we are praying that the word is coming alive. Probably not that you've heard what we're saying for the first time. It's coming alive. It's breathing new life. We want to say a special shout out to our executive assistant, Prophetess Kiara Rowley. Happy Mother's Day. I know Mother's Day was Sunday, but I just wanted to let you know how much we appreciate you at Wake Up Global Networks. If you have not subscribed to our newsletter, if you have not followed us on our social media, you can go to our website, www.wakeupglobalnetworks.com, www.wakeupglobalnetworks.com. So much content on this channel, Wake Up Global TV. And we appreciate those of you. Obvious that you are sharing, because the views and the reviews are going up every week, which means people's lives are being changed. And as I say every week, I would be remiss, fake and phony, if I didn't say we didn't want the channel to grow. We're a baby channel. We're trying to get it growing. Why get it growing? Because the more likes, the more subscribes you have, it pushes it into the algorithms. And it lets the algorithms know people want more content like this. That's why I intermittently stop and say, have you liked? We're in a brand new world. It's not just looking at like TV. And you're just looking very intently and you don't do nothing. No, we're in a new aura of streaming. And I'm going to talk about that, where you are dealing with algorithms, not ratings, algorithms, right? And so that's why we say like. I'll stop and say like to the channel, to Wake Up Global TV. Because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against algorithms, right? All right. Have you shared? Have you put the link of this into your contacts? I want to say that I'm going to be I have a Patreon. It's called the Lit Patreon. You can find that on our website if you want to become a part. I want to say thank you. Our Lit Patreon family is growing. But I want to say that spirit, and sometimes you don't understand and people don't understand what you're doing, why you're doing it. As long as you are being led by your intuition, you can never go wrong, right? But long story short, I was doing a message. I don't want to say a message, but on my Patreon, I have part 1 and 2 talking about the profiting and the marketing of prophecy. And I am talking about the dysfunction of offerings in the modern day church, the abuse, the manipulation, the twisting of scriptures to get money. Now, in line with that, this is why I'm saying you cannot go wrong with your intuition. I know it wasn't popular. We all know by now, I don't deal with popularity. I'm not trying to be popular. I was trying to be popular, I'd be going in a whole different direction. I'm trying to be obedient and true to my divine alignment, right? But anyway, popularity is for everybody else, whoever won it. So it wasn't popular, but I started that several weeks ago. And and the reason I put it on Patreon because I was saying some things that I knew if I put it on regular social media, first of all, subscribe to my Patreon. So you have to intently listen to the content and not stumble across it and misunderstand it, right? But I talked about the marketing and the profiting off of prophecy. Little did I know, Spirit knew. That's why I said, if you go by your intuition, I don't care what people say or think, you cannot and you will not go wrong. 1 month later, one of the most prominent prophets in Christendom would be indicted for tax fraud. Now, I'm going to talk about my next picture. Not, of course, y'all know to belittle, to stamp a person when they get, but everything is a teaching moment and it is a confirmation of what the Spirit gave me on that subject. It was not popular. And here it is, most, I would say, the most prominent 21st century prophet. I'm not rejoicing in that, but I'm saying something that we have to stop this prostitution of people for money. And now it's coming out. And I tell people all the time, let me use me. Wake Up Global Networks is a nonprofit, right? Tax-free organization. We file certain documents, but we don't pay taxes like a for-profit. But D. Foster 3 must pay taxes. I can't get them twisted. And here you are looking up to, God forbid, doesn't get it at the time of this recording. I don't know if the sentencing had been handed. 2 to 3 years at the minimum. A young man. And I believe it all stems out of these gimmicks and the marketing and the profiteering that we have been involved in over the last 20 years. Money. And I think it's very important to us all. That day is over. We must personally and ministry wise and business wise deal with finances and integrity. We'll talk about it in my Patreon. Okay? But I'm going to leave that right there and get into tonight's lesson. Thank you for those of you that are joined. Thank you for what you put in the comments. I am excited about what's going on tonight. All right. Father, we are honored to be awake, to be aware, to have the spirit of Issachar. There's a lot of people who don't know what time it is and have no clue in what they ought to do. Thank you that we are not among them. We thank you, the word, the rhema, your breath, spirit will come alive and impregnate us with new life. I speak over the life of every person in this space, the streaming space, and those who watch the replay. I speak life in Jesus' name. So be it. Did you like? Did you share? Come on, follow us. Subscribe to the channel so that you know when we drop brand new content like the Voice of Who Connected with V, like the Voice of That podcast. Very special podcast coming up. We got so much going on. It's all happening right here. Wake Up Global V. When God makes you comfortable, or I don't know. And I don't. This part, something, right? When God makes you uncomfortable. Now, let me speak a prophetic, well, I'll get into that. Because as I was studying, Spirit dropped something on me to drop on parents relative to the subject. Subject was birth, and you can go back and look at how many other parts precede this tonight. Share this, share this. Thank you for those of you who are coming in. Invite others. This was birthed because I sense that we are in one of the greatest, as I've said every week, global shifts in our time, maybe ever. I preface this message every week, this teaching, this study, by saying that every dimension of life is shifting, and I'm telling you, shifting quickly. I am hearing from people who their lives are changing without notice, and this is what I prophesy, because we are all being realigned with our divine assignment. Share this. This shift is happening in every dimension. It's happening geopolitical, it's happening educationally, it's happening certainly economically, it's happening spiritually. People are awakening, leaving traditions of their childhood that no longer serve them, and embracing truth. But I won't get into that because some of y'all, I'm gonna lose y'all, and I'm not trying to lose y'all. That's what I deal with on my podcast. Embracing new realities of truth, spiritual, new realities of themselves. Yes, that was what Israel's problem was. They couldn't embrace a new reality of this. And we'll get into that tonight. But I want to preface this prophetically, because Spirit gave me a word to start this message tonight. And this will happen over the next 7 to 10 years. Is called the time of global transformation. Everything that we have known, and I'm telling you, it's quick. Excuse me. For my astrological friends, since Uranus went into Gemini, it's really quick. But hold up. This is what the Spirit wanted me to share. That in this transition, it is going to cause some of us are going to heed the call to go to the geographical location that has been calling us, but because we've been stuck in our native land, the place where we've been born. Because, oh God, y'all ready to share this? Spirit is taking me. Because my body can be born in a place that my spirit has not been called. And now, because of, I'm not going back over that, get replay. Because of the shift that's taken place, the place where my spirit has been called to, my body is now going to follow. What am I saying? Prophetically, many of you will be moving in this season. And when you feel the tug to do it, it is the thing to do. Go to Zarephath, your newfound territory, the place where I have commanded the widow woman to be fed. The brook of your native land, I'm speaking over your life, has dried up. Now let me speak to parents. The next generation, the younger generation, is more awakened to this shift. Many of them want to move. They feel it. They're like, I don't feel it here. I don't feel the vibe here. I don't feel what's going on here. I want to move to LA. I want to move to this place. I want to move to that place. But you're like, you're going to leave me? Get out the guilt and let them do what maybe you didn't do and fulfill their assignment for alignment, for the reason that they came here. There is an urgency, and we are knowing more and more and more why we came here. And the younger generation are more awakened because they're not stuck by traditional beliefs. They're not stuck. There's a whole brand new world. They're not stuck in one geographical location. So what am I saying? What am I saying? I know I'm saying a lot. That's thank God for rework. What am I saying? That the Spirit is saying that many of us are going to be moving, and your children are going to be going to the place that they have been called to from the foundation, but their body was just born in another place. See, there's a certain generation that's stuck. I was amazed when I moved to New Orleans. And New Orleans itself, not Louisiana, is not a great big place. And there's a bridge called the West Bank, and it separates the East, Midtown, East, West, right? So there are people who lived in the East who never went over in the West. And probably you can get there in a half an hour. Same thing when I moved to Maryland. There are people years ago who lived in the East side, never went to the West side. Your generation, your children, your children's children don't have that spirit. They were born under a global consciousness. This. Stop holding them back out of guilt. Oh, you gonna leave the family? Yes, Abraham, as we said last week, leave. Come on, y'all. Y'all ready tonight? Come on in. Come on in. Leave the place of your father's house and go start something new. Start something new. Your work is done in Ur. Your work is done where you were born, perhaps. Your work was done where you were raised. And I'm telling you, in this shift, let me calm down. In this shift, many of us are going to heed the call and launch out into the deep and go to a place, another place, a place where you don't know nobody, a place where you may not be familiar with, but you feel calling you, the land, territory. Because I love this. This is what Mike Murdoch used to say. Every one of us have been called to a geographical location because there are a people there waiting to hear your voice. Speak. You do with that what you want. But don't hold your children in bondage because they're not afraid to go to a place and start something that you may have missed because all your family was there. That's why I said, when I went to New Orleans, who you know there? What you moving there? All your family, that ain't got nothing to do with the calling that y'all know. I'm Piscean. I just flow. I move. I flow. Sometimes it make people nervous. I'm not stuck. I'm not. I'm not. I won't say that. I'm fluid. Move. I'm not afraid to get out. In this shit, God is making us uncomfortable because He says, time for divine realignment, like this. How many people have you invited? Thank you for the new people coming in. Thank you for those of you who this is your first time. It won't be your last. This is part 2 tonight. Again, I thank God for streaming, that we don't have to go back over it for time's. Part 2 tonight on deprogramming or reprogramming. That's why the Lord had me to start with that prophetic word. Unlocking consciously from where I've been and locking in consciously to where I'm going before I get there. And part of that is forgetting. Yeah, people don't like to say that. Paul said, forgetting those things that are sometimes the part of the deprogramming that we don't like is forgetting. That's why certain aspects of my life that were victorious, you will never hear me talk. I've moved on. I had 1,000 experiences in life. I will not all bitter, not all bad, some great, but that is my past. I'm pressing. I'm deprogramming from that. That was then. Put it in the chat. That was then. This is now. Put that in the chat. That was then. It's now. Now is greater. Your greater will be better, bigger, brighter than your past if you deprogram from the past. What is that? What's the key to deprogramming? Forgetting. I know we don't like to say that. Don't forget. Don't forget. Certain things you need to forget. Because to remember or to keep imagining or to keep picturing will keep you there. Because you arrive every place in y'all ready tonight? Are y'all really ready? I told you, this ain't no pipe. That's a locator. This prophetic. Because if you keep remembering, it's going to keep you there. So reprogramming. The problem was Israel. We started talking about it last week. They lack self-awareness. Their barriers became, at some point, it wasn't Pharaoh, it wasn't the Red Sea, it wasn't the labor, it was their lack of self-awareness. Because when you or I are aware, even though there are barriers, even though there are restraints, even though people try to manipulate, we can break through those barriers with simple self-awareness. The power of being aware of who you are. I like to call it like this. It's awakening the sleeping brain. When you wake up and realize who you are, you take the grave clothes and say, hell, this ain't me. I ain't, what, who, not D. I mean, not me. Share this. Come on, get other people into this. So we've been talking, I won't go back, noticing the subtle shifts. When God makes you uncomfortable, because the title of this whole series is Great Opportunities Often Precede Great Leaps of Faith. That's what your children and your children's children are about to do in prophecy. They are being called to a land of opportunity that is not where they currently are. And you say you want the best for them. Let them go where their spirit is calling. I got to go back to this. Spirit won't let me drop this. Every one of us are being called to a land, to a territory. Remember when the children of Israel were given the land, every tribe was assigned to a land? That's the prototype. I am assigned to a land. You are assigned, but we've been misassigned by nature of birth, guilt, fear. Stay here, you go where you know. But I thought you had spirit. Wait a minute. See, one thing religion has is double talk. This, I know two things can be right, but they want to make two things right all the time. So greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I can do all things through Christ, trust in me, including if I'm led by spirit to move to a place I've never been, I know he's going to prepare me. I'm going to land on my feet. But on the other end, who you know that? See, I can't reconcile either or. Some things are either or. Either, like I always say, principalities have been spoiled or devil did. I'm in this space in my life where you're going to have to make it make sense. I can't double talk no more when it's convenient. We make two things true at the same time all the time. Either he spoiled principalities or they're still running rampant. Either or. And you have to take authority and remind yourself. But either they're spoiled or they're not. So either I go to this land that I'm being called because I'm being called by a land. Abraham, leave your native land. I'm sending you to a place and I'm going before you. Who else going? Don't give it who's going. If I'm going, I'm going. I got all, don't get me started, all I need. But anyway, focus. Because there's so many things running through my spirit. But you got to catch me. You got to catch me. I don't. That's why I said it's not a Bible study. So Israel had a problem. The Hebrews had a problem in Exodus that we've been reading from, using them as the prototype of what not to do in many cases. They had been, their journey had been so traumatizing that it was very difficult for them to leave, because I believe in modern vernacular that they had created a trauma bond to their experience with Pharaoh, the new Pharaoh, and Egypt. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that, because that's what keeps a lot of people from making the transition, moving to their next leap of faith. There are trauma bonds. Though abuse is there, though all that stuff is there, I won't go and name everything, I still can't leave. And when you really study it, they have been so programmed and have become attached. And what it really is a trauma bond. We bond through this trauma. It's the trauma, not the love, not the appreciation, not the self-respect, not the giving and receiving that has bonded us. Is what, y'all know, it's people like that. What we have been through that's been horrific bonded us. I think that's where Israel was in essence. Because why else would it be difficult to leave an abusive, non-appreciative situation? You like this? You like this? You like this? I know I'm going faster. When you gotta like them, get them in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Come on in the room. Come on, come on. All right. All right. So they struggled deprogramming. Now let's talk about that, because tonight is part 2 of deprogramming for reprogramming, in this grand theme of great opportunities often precede great leaps of faith. Why would they have a problem with all that's going on? And we read it last week. Pharaoh increased their labor. There's a new Pharaoh that didn't know Joseph. He made them build houses and said, we're not going to give them wood no more. They got to find their own wood. And we're not going to decrease the number of houses we expect them to build. And we're going to kick them behind if they don't keep up with the levy tax that we're taxing them. I mean, all of this trauma. It seems like it would be easy for you to leave, but if you are programmed and you can't deprogram. So let's talk about what's keeping them, you, us from deprogramming from the past so we can move on. Maybe there is a certain amount of trauma that Israel has to deal with that Israel does not acknowledge that exists, number one, because a lot of people don't acknowledge trauma. Or number two, they don't want to deal with it like a lot of people. They know it's there and they're going to pray it away, fast it away. I don't think so. Trauma in all of us has to be confronted and dealt with. Now, you've heard the statement, is not where you're going, is where you've been. That's partly true. I used to believe that. But it's true, follow me, from the perspective that our past does not necessarily forecast our future. That's where it's true. But not true when it comes to the trauma and the residue that has programmed us. That's what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. That has programmed us prior, in the past. It is true. It's not important where you've been, it's where you're going, to a degree. To the degree that, okay, your past can't stop your future if you don't let it. But it's not true when it comes to residue and past programming that has occurred that we fail to deprogram. Now your past can predict your future. And this is where Israel was. If those trauma, that lack of self-awareness, that low self-esteem is not dealt with, it can and it will and it does nullify the statement. Doesn't matter where you've been, matters where you're going. Because as we will see with the Hebrews, even if you go physical, moving forward physically without dealing with those things, without programming, without breaking those trauma bonds, will taint us with the same experiences, just in a different ways. That's why they took the foolishness of Egypt into the wilderness and was about to take it into the promise. And God said, I ain't having it. Watch this quickly. I'm breeding a new generation in Canaan. I'm fulfilling the Abrahamic covenant. I'm not about to take all of that trauma, that doubt, that fear that y'all got in Egypt that you refused to drop. You took it in the wilderness. You have killed Moses. You wanted to kill Joshua because you was attached to your pain. And some of the most dangerous people, did you share this? Did you share this? Did you share this? Are people that are to their pain. They don't know how to exist. Pain. I told y'all this. And you gonna miss Thursday? Yeah, right. You gonna miss the replay? Yeah, right. All right, I got a few more minutes. Just a few more. I'm almost finished. So with Israel, like us, and I'm using them as a prototype, it wasn't just about new territory or new dimensions. Without a new mindset or a new awareness, and that takes deprogramming. Let me say it again. It ain't about you need something new. It's about, yeah, I need a new mindset. Be ye transformed. That's just not talking about spiritual stuff. Be ye transformed, metamorphosized, changed. Look totally, see, transformation is different. Transformation means it was a caterpillar, now it's a butterfly. They don't look alike, they don't move alike, they don't have the same nature, but it's the same essence. Y'all with me tonight? Y'all with me tonight? Tomorrow, Friday, you can recover. I ain't come here to play, y'all. We've been assigned a generation. So it's not about moving, taking those leaps of faith with the same mindset, because then you're just going to have the same experience, because wherever you go, there you are. Why do I keep repeating the same experience, getting the same people, attracting the same kind of people, attracting the same? Because you have not changed your magnet, which is your mindset. consciousness, your awareness. Did you share this? Because I'm almost finished. Thank you for those of you that are coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So it's not about new territory for them. God said, I'm going to give you king. But the wilderness, that's why I thought the other week the wilderness was pivotal, because that's where we get deprogrammed. That's where we should have got deprogrammed. They were so bad. And I understand 400 years of abuse. They were so bad. God says, I'm going to get rid of the seed of that tribe. Only two out of all them people. And this is prophetic because this is what's going on now. I'm going to raise up, excuse my terminology, I talk to a vast audience, raise up, breed a whole new generation who thinks, moves, acts, sees themselves in a whole different way than their forefathers and foremothers. All right, I'm gonna shut it down for the night. Go watch the replay. Go watch the replay. Your mind leads your behind. My mind, my behind, my physical, I don't mean just my butt, my physical body can't go instead where my mind is not first. If my behind goes before my mind, I'm definitely going back because I'm still programmed to what's behind. But if my mind goes, my behind will find a resting. Y'all like, all right, y'all. Oh, Spirit, we thank you for the wonderful time that we've shared tonight, shared with people. Thank you for all the truths, all the gems, all the jewels that you've deposited into us to speak into your people. Thank you for all that you were speaking to them while they were listening. Spirit is that vast, you can speak something different out of one vessel to millions and millions of people. I speak life over your life. And so it is. And so I hope you feel like you've invested tonight. Again, I encourage you each and every week if you do so. And I am not ashamed to say, I believe that we are good ground. Anything that is waking you up and not taking you back is good ground, not dividing you, not subtracting from you, but they're adding and multiplying is good ground. It's not that deep what good ground is. They're adding to you, they're multiplying you, they're causing you to wake up and not taking you back. Simply, they are good ground. Wake Up Global Networks, we are good ground. If you believe that, be led about the seed that you sow into the work that we are called to do. We were able to bless others, and I don't have no problem with it. I don't think you guys say everything you do for people. I mean, you give $1 million away. Why? Is it, y'all, anyway, I'm getting into another subject. Do it in secret and you'll be blessed openly. I just never had a thing where we got to get up and tell everything Wake Up is doing. Now, of course, We want our partners to see what we're doing, so we go partner with a school and we go do something. We'll post it on, but every little thing we help somebody pay a bill or we help, I ain't got to tell you that, because then we have our reward. I need spirit. I need God's reward or wake up. No man, woman can reward us. For the things we believe in, Wake Up Global Networks to do. So what we do, a lot of it, we do it in secret, but the people we do it for know we do it. We honored mothers this year and blessed them. And not with no cheap stuff. We sow. So we give. I'm not going to get on the internet or put it on the news. Because my motive is to bless the person and not take credit. Others choose different, that's them. It's me. I'm responsible for Wake Up Global. So, that all that to say, if you find this good ground, then pray. Seek, go in about sowing a seed. The information is on the screen. Zelle, PayPal, and some more platforms coming soon. But, we ain't trying to put 9,000 things across the screen like that. Not yet, right? Everything in its time. All right, hope you have a good week. Tonight was very different. I felt a different vibe. I felt the spirit moving in a different way. And that's what these Thursdays are going to be about. Well, I said, it ain't going to be a Sunday school lesson. There's a lot of people here Bible study. No. We eating the whole book. Go to our website, www.wakeupglobalnetworks.com. www.wakeupglobalnetworks.com. And until next week, this is D Foster 3 saying, peace, God bless. And make sure you come back here. You hear? Peace.